$931, 28% higher. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now in this video, I'm going to be talking about two separate reports that recently hit the wire, and one of which is major positive news for another stimulus check. But more on that in just a minute. Let's jump right into it and talk through these one by one. First off, a new report that was just released is showing energy prices this winter are going to be on average 28% higher than what they were last year. Now, do you remember energy prices last year? I do. They were 35% higher than the previous year. So what this report is telling us is that energy prices this year will be 28% higher than what they were on top of the 35% higher from last year. So what you can see here is that energy prices are going to get very, very expensive this coming winter, even higher, significantly higher than what they were last year. Now let me break this all down for you because I have some numbers behind this to put it into dollars so we can all see how much this average increase is actually going to be. So last year, the average household paid $724 throughout the course of the entire year to heat their home. This year, it's suspected the average household is going to spend $931 to heat their home again throughout the course of the entire winter. That is an increase of $207 more this year than what we paid last year. Thank you very much. Just what we need right now. Higher prices on energy along with everything else. But are we all that surprised? Probably not that much. Now, the report does go on to show that nearly 50% of the households in the United States are heated by natural gas, and that is where that 28% increase is coming from. However, the report also shows that 40% of households are heated by electricity. Electricity is much more expensive than natural gas. However, electricity is only going up by 10%. I mean, seriously, only 10% electricity prices are going up. However, get this, the average household is suspected to pay this year to heat their home with electricity $1,359 this year compared to last year. So again, that's a lot of money, especially for somebody heating with electricity versus with natural gas. You can see right there, it's a difference of about $429 or $428 or so. That's a lot more money to pay for electricity. Now, of course, there are other methods in which people heat their homes, but these are by far the most popular, nearly 50% with natural gas and about 40% with electricity, right? So there's only about just a few percentage points there, about 10% or so that heat their homes in other ways other than those two forms. So again, great, just what we all wanted, right? I think we're all super excited to hear this report. Not. Anyway, I wanted to bring this to you just to let you know what's actually going on right now and let you know that this is what they're suspecting right now, according to energy prices. And of course, just like all the reports that we see all the time, of course, they always have all these great excuses like, oh, you know, the cost to mine this stuff and to bring this stuff up and the price of all these fuels and stuff like that. I mean, seriously, just tell us the truth here. They're just jacking up prices on us. I mean, let's just be real for a second. We're all getting so sick of prices going up on literally everything these days, right? Anyway, par for the course. So that's just what we get to deal with this winter. So, and again, obviously, depending on where you're located around the country, obviously for those people located in the north where it's getting a lot colder, you know, it might be more, but again, people in the south, it's going to be less. That's why we're talking about averages here. So anyway, I want to keep you updated with stuff going on. Now next, let's quickly talk about another report here. And this one, again, in my opinion, and based on everything that I know, based on this situation, is actually major positive news for another stimulus check. Now, I want to make it very clear. This does not automatically mean that a stimulus check is going to be approved. However, if this is actually true and if this report is actually going to come into fruition, then guess what? The likelihood of another check coming is a lot greater than what it is with the current situation. However, let's talk what's going on now. So a new report was just released as well, suggesting with the current economic environment and everything that's going on right now with the Federal Reserve raising interest rates, inflation still being through the roof on literally everything, prices going up and everything going on right now, this new report is suggesting throughout the entire quarter of next year, the first quarter of next year, so January, February, and March of next year, they're suspecting that the United States economy is going to lose 175,000 jobs per month for at least the first quarter of next year, and likely going to be losing more jobs throughout the entire course of next year, 2023. That's not that far away, right? I mean, let's be real. 2023 is not that far away. It's only a matter of weeks at this point until we are into 2023. Well, we can start to see it now that the job market, again, according to the most recent reports coming out, is still kind of hanging on a little bit. But it's not going to be long here, especially with the next upcoming meetings out of the Federal Reserve, likely raising interest rates even more. That's not going to be a good situation for the economy and what's going on with the job market. So, again, that's what this report is actually suggesting, is 175,000 jobs will be lost every single month just in the first quarter of next year. And again, who knows? Even by the end of this year, we could be seeing some massive job losses depending on what's going on with the economy, depending on what the Federal Reserve does with their next few meetings here, and of course, what the inflation report continues to show. Because as we continue to see these inflation reports coming in very strong, just like we just saw a couple days ago, this is just prompting the Federal Reserve to increase interest rates even more and more. So again, they're putting the clamp down on the economy right now, and it's going to be an ugly picture when this whole thing comes home. So anyway, I'll keep you posted on that. But here's why I'm talking about this is actually good and positive news when it comes to another check. Now again, do I personally want to see 175,000 people lose their jobs every month? No, I don't. I do not want to see that happen. Unfortunately, I'm not the person that does that. I'm just simply telling you that information, okay? That's what I'm relaying to you. I'm just basically bringing you the information, okay? I have no control over jobs being created and or jobs being lost. But when it comes down to it, I've talked about this many times before. When it comes down to jobs, this is one of the major metrics that we need to watch in regards to another check. Here's why. As jobs are being lost, as we continue to see jobs being lost in this country, as we continue to see the unemployment rate going up, this is just meaning that the economy is softening a lot more, right? As we continue to see the economy soften and the economy starting to contract, this just simply means that the Federal Reserve, they're kind of accomplishing what they want to do, which is basically crush the economy, right? And that is pretty much their objective right now because they think it's going to bring down this inflation, which again, it's going to take a very long time to do this. But as we continue to see the unemployment rate ticking up, we continue to see the economy contracting, people spending less money, businesses laying off people, businesses contracting, less money being spent. As a result of that, it's just going to mean that eventually at some point, this economy is going to contract much, much further than what they actually anticipate it's going to do. And as we continue to see the unemployment continue to increase, that just means the likelihood of more checks coming out gets greater and greater. So here's the thing. When we go into a recession, when the United States economy contracts, what happens is that the unemployment rate goes up. Naturally, the unemployment rate goes up just because companies are letting people go. They're laying people off. They're furloughing people, right? They're basically reducing a bunch of their overhead because they need to make sure that they make it out the other side of the storm. So therefore, they need to conserve capital, right? We've talked about this before in other videos. But as a result of that, we see all this happening, right? Well, then all of a sudden, the economy contracts much further than what they actually anticipate and much further than what they actually want it to do. This happens every single time. And again, this time is not going to be any exception, especially with this super aggressive approach that the Federal Reserve is taking right now on interest rates and everything else out there. Well, as a result of that, we're going to see this economy crash pretty badly. Well, what happens then? The Federal Reserve prints out money, Congress approves billions, hundreds of billions, or trillions of dollars, and then they push it out in the form of stimulus, which usually they call something, some fancy name like the American Rescue Plan, the CARES Act, quantitative easing, QE, Operation Twist, something like this. They give it some fancy name, and ultimately all it really means is printing money. That's it. And then they push it out into the economy. So if you are in the camp, if you are somebody who wants another stimulus check, let me tell you a few things that you want to see. Now, again, I'm not saying that this is a good thing. I'm just simply telling you, if you want another check, here's a few things that you want to see. The Federal Reserve aggressively raising interest rates, the unemployment rate going up, jobs being lost. If you could pick any of those things, if all three of those things continue to happen, the likelihood of a check goes way through the roof, because ultimately this economy will go down, and the only way that they can bring it back, bring it back strong and fast, is by printing money and giving it to the people, us, the people, and telling us to spend the money. We've talked about this before, but again, that's all it really does. It's the same old cycle that happens every single time, and this time it will not be any exception to that rule. In fact, this crash might be bigger than any we've ever seen in a very, very long time. So just want to point that out to you. But anyway, this is what's going on right now. These are reports that are hitting the wire. And again, I like to bring you these reports like this to let you know what's really going on, because realistically, you're probably not going to hear it from your local news. You're not going to hear all this stuff, and I want you to be prepared for what's going on. And of course, I want to point out anything out there that you may be able to grab and or take advantage of, including money, benefits, programs, stimulus, raises to benefits, or anything else out there right now that you can possibly grab and or take advantage of. Now, one more thing I want to throw out there really quickly. I've talked about this one about, 20 times in other videos, but let me just say this really fast here. If you have not applied for the LIHEAP, Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, please do it. It's totally free to do so. It's for people who are low income and fixed income. It'll pay for your heating and electricity bills to keep your home heated and cooled in the summer. And again, now that we know that energy prices are going up another 28% this year, why not grab some of that and have them pay for your energy bills? Even if they pay just a portion of it, totally worth it, right? Yeah, anyway, hope this one helps you. But again, look it up online if you have not applied. I've talked about it so many times here in other videos. Look it up online. You can simply go online and type in LIHEAP and then your location. And again, or you could type it out if you want to, Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. Check that one out. Again, it'll help you pay for your heating and cooling bills. Hope this one helps you. Again, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, please have a nice day. Please remember, I am here for you in any way that I possibly can be. That's my dedication. That's my commitment. And as always, I'm sticking to it. All right, thanks again. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later.